Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another production of the West Bend Community Cable Public Access Channel. My name is Jim German. Today is February 12th, I believe. It's a Sunday. We're at Silverbrook School. I'm standing here with Bob Hammond, and we're attending, what are we attending today, Bob?
This is our 5th annual Great Lakes Sports Fishermen Sports Show, Seminars, and Sports Card Show.
And you're a member of what chapter of this Great Lakes sports fishing?
This is the Ozaki chapter. We fish out of Port Washington, basically.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like a year, Bob, but we were here last year, and it just seems like last week. It's been a fast year. What have we got this year? Are you up in attendance, or are you down, or can you tell us what we have this year?
Well, yesterday had very good attendance last year, and I'd say if it continues like that today, we'll set a record this year.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I think so, because there isn't much else to do. The temperature of the last 2 days has been 5 below zero or so.
Right. Sure has.
So that'll get the old cabin fever people out, right?
Right.
Okay, so what about the number of people exhibiting this week or this year? Is it up from last year? Is that down?
The sports car area is up. We have approximately 30 tables that are filled this year. That's about 16 different exhibitors.
30 people just showing cards. Sports cards.
38-foot tables, and it's about 16 different dealers.
Wow, okay.
And then in the gym here, where we've got our sports show exhibitors, hunting and fishing, I think we got about 35 exhibitors, which is about like last year.
Okay, and how do you go about getting these people? Do you send, I imagine you send invitations to everybody who was here last year, but how did you ever start? How did you ever start getting people?
We just put together a list of them, wherever we could get it from, and we did a large mailing and followed up with phone calls and so forth.
You advertise besides? Anybody who wanted to exhibit something, put it in the paper possibly?
Right, we do in some statewide magazines. We put some ads in them.
I see. And there is a charge for each one of the exhibits, isn't there?
Right, there is.
And let's say that somebody's watching this and would like to exhibit something next year. How would they go about getting in?
If they contact me, and the price of our booths are $50 for an 8 by 10 foot space.
Okay. And of course the proceeds go to your club, right?
Right. All the proceeds go to our club, and we use it to further improve and protect upon the Lake Michigan fishery we have in Lake Michigan. It's for salmon and trout.
And for instance, how would you go about doing that?
Well, we use our money in several ways. We make donations to the Keller Marine Springs Fish Hatchery, which raise all the rainbow trout and coho salmon for Lake Michigan. We make donations to the Zaki County Rescue Boat, which does rescue work out there naturally.
Of course.
We're involved with the Big Brothers of Ozaki, Washington County. We take them fishing each year and give them a picnic afterwards. We sponsor 4 scholarships to the Natural Resources Careers Workshop each year, 2 from Ozaki and 2 from Washington County. And we make other similar donations to other smaller groups.
This is really an ambitious club. I guess I didn't expect that big of an answer, Bob. I've got to hand it to you. Good for you. How would anybody go about joining your club if they're watching the show?
To join our club, they can contact me, and I guess maybe I give a phone number might be the thing to do.
Go ahead. Bob Hammond is.
My phone number would be 644-8481.
Good. Maybe you'll get some extra people. How many people are in the club?
We got approximately 200 members right now.
It's a good show.
Right. Many of them are associate members, we call them, and these are local businesses and stuff. That might be a marine dealer or a bait shop, different things like that. Mm-hmm. And they support us through associate memberships.
Good. Well, I noticed a few changes on the way in here. We're deep in the show here at your booth, but on the way in I noticed that the casting area is in a different place than it was last year. Last year was a bit cramped, I thought, and this year you've got wide open spaces. What else? Explain about that, and explain what other changes you might have made this year.
Well, the casting contest, that's run similar to last year, except that we got in a room with a high ceiling this year.
Good for you. We had no pianos and
right.
chairs that we were knocking over last year.
Right, that'll be for kids, 2 different age groups again. There'll be prizes for them and so forth. It drew a good crowd last year, and we expect to do the same this year.
Good. I think it's going to be wide open spaces. And any other changes that you might want to add?
We're doing something special this year. A lot of people are aware in the Milwaukee area there were fishing clinics run last summer. Well, we're running one here right at our sports show. It's sponsored by our club and a DNR.
You didn't have I know you had several clinics last year, but you didn't have a fishing clinic? I mean, you had fishing clinics, but certainly, but...
Right, we did, but this is strictly for kids to learn about fishing. There's 5 different stages you go through to learn how to cast, fillet a fish, catch a fish. They have, actually try catching a fish in our trout pond.
So this is all for the kids?
Right, strictly for kids.
Okay, charge for that?
There's no charge, but they had to pre-register.
Oh, no charge.
So it's something we'll probably repeat next year again.
like what you guys are doing. This is wonderful. What about the two boats out in the front? As we walked in, there's probably a 21-footer cuddy cabin deal and what appears to be an elaborate jet ski. What is the significance of those two out in front?
It's not a door prize, really. No,
Yeah.
it's part of one of our exhibitors, Westport Services out of Port Washington. He's got one boat in here and he's got two more outside, just part of his display.
Okay, I was wondering, well, you're going to be giving away, geez, I don't know, maybe a $20,000 rig out there, or maybe even more for that matter.
I imagine it's more than that,
Yeah.
right?
And that, what is that little what 12-footer that looks like a jet ski with side-by-side seats?
I think that's a newer thing in the market now. I'm not too aware of what's with it, but
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But anyway, I see a number of boat dealers here and some car dealers and a number of things. Well, and one other thing, Bob, we were going to mention the number of clinics that you have. Now, it's just not a clinic or two. We have a scad full of clinics, and maybe you'd just like to list the numbers or the names that we have from your paper.
okay, I can do that, sure.
Okay, let's go.
We really got an impressive lineup this year. We got 17 different seminars.
17 that's a crowd.
That's different ones now, and most of them repeated both days. We've got one room strictly all fishing seminars, and another one is hunting and a few other subjects thrown in.
And of course, the entry fee that people are paying to come here, which is what, $1 or
It's
$2?
$3 to get in for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, goes toward the payment of the folks giving these seminars. I'm
Right,
guessing.
we have to pay the exhibitor, the seminar speakers, right?
All right, and let's hear what we got.
Okay, I'll just read the fishing ones to start with. We've got a jigging for muskie seminar. We've got a bass fishing one in the Lakeland area. Fishing the area lakes. We've got ice fishing for bluegills and crappies. Steelheading in Wisconsin. That's something new we're getting into this year.
Okay.
That's going to be a big thing these days. We've got the wonderful world of walleyes. And we also got a spring and summer pan fishing one.
Good.
And then in the other room, we've got turkey hunting. And we've got a follow-up seminar on turkey hunting because I went over so good last year on a calling clinic. And that the people can bring in their own calls or they can purchase it at our show.
Mm-hmm. I
And
remember there was a guy here last year with a turkey call.
right, he's a DNR instructor and he's back again this year.
Good.
And it was his idea to do the second session. It's where the people can actually work with him and learn how to use their calls.
Good.
Then we've got a hunting dog demonstration, which is in the gym here too in this back area. And that's really gone over good. There was a big crowd yesterday and it'll be repeated today again. We got diving the Great Lakes. That's by Divers Delight. They operate out of Port Washington, and it'll be a seminar on diving the Great Lakes naturally. We've got a bow setup and broadhead tuning for all the bow hunters. We've got a North American big game hunting, and that would take care of the seminars basically.
Boy,
That's a lot of seminars.
It's a lot of stuff going on, and you, of course, are the coordinator for all this, and your responsibility with the Great Lakes, your chapter. Are you president or?
I'm 6-time past president, and I'm currently the vice president of the club, and get the title of chairman of the sports show.
That's right. Yeah, you got to do all the work, right? Well, good. I'm glad to see this year that you're out of that cast finally and out of the wheelchair and back to health again. And it looks like once again you've put together a wonderful show, and we're going to be looking at everything in just a few moments. Bob, thanks for the interview, and best of luck to you, right?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys coming here and give us some coverage. And there's one more project that our club's involved with, which I got to mention.
All right, go ahead.
We've got a Sauk Creek over in Port Washington. It's a small creek that enters in Lake Michigan, but it's only one of two creeks entering Lake Michigan in Ozaukee County. Well, we've got a Sauk Creek rehabilitation project going on. We're working with the DNR and getting permits to do a large amount of work. We're talking close to $100,000 worth of work.
Wow, my goodness.
And right now the permits are in Madison, and if they get the okay, work will start this year.
And your club is going to generate that much revenue?
Our club has $10,000, a little over $10,000 put into a fund for this already. And then there'll be DNR money and other money from other sources.
I see. Well, gee whiz, that sounds ambitious also.
It's a big project. They're going to actually deepen the creek, Then they'll put fish structures on the side where the fish can, seek shelter in there and so forth,
Wow. Well, all to improve the fishing.
Right. It'll stock the fish up in the creek instead of in the lake, and they'll return better because they'll imprint themselves to the creek better.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. I hope that works out for you too. And I think now let's get busy. Let's see what let's see what else is here at this 5th annual sports show. Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Sure. Well, we walked about 15 feet from the Great Lakes fishing booth, and now we're in the casting area, and I'm standing here with Tim Weicker. Tim, that's pronounced properly, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, Tim, what's your responsibility here?
Well, what we're putting on today is the DNR's program, Angler Education. And in this section here, as you can see behind us, we're putting on a casting contest, and it's designed to have the kids practice casting for accuracy.
Okay, Tim, are you with the DNR then?
No, I went to some training with the DNR to be an instructor for the program.
Okay, so and this is a clinic for children ages what to what?
I'm not even sure, but I'll have to look.
Well, I see the kids here probably about 8, 9.
8 to 12 years.
Okay.
So, and it's the second seminar that I've helped with, and we're going to be giving away 2 fishing rods for the best cast. So.
Okay, and you have explained how to cast for these little kids?
Yeah, they get a book from the DNR, and there's 4 different groups that we're teaching, and the other groups are going on in a different part of the building, and then the groups of kids are rotating. So the book helps explain it, and then I give them a little help too.
Well, good. I know. Were you involved last year when they had it in that back room, that little classroom casting contest?
No.
It was pretty cramped. The casting plugs were bouncing off everything. But I see some climbing ropes in the back. How many times have you had to go up there and get the plug down?
And we've only had them up there twice.
And whose job is it to shinny up there then?
No, we were able to pull them down.
Oh, good. Well, and explain to the folks at home that when you're practicing casting, you're not actually casting a hooked plug. It's something totally different.
Well, we just tied on a wooden plug that was a homemade plug. It's just got a little weight and helps you aim and practice.
Right.
So we
It's
won't
not
have
that
any hooks in people's eyes.
Right. It's not that they're firing anything with a hook around here, but it looks like fun. I'm guessing the kids are enjoying it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Good, Tim. Thanks a lot, and good luck. Don't get hurt over here.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, now we're standing over by the trout pond, one of the biggest attractions at this annual sports show, and I'm standing here with Noel Jepson. Noel, that's correct, isn't it?
That's right.
And Noel, of course, is the current president of the Great Lakes Sport Fishermen Chapter. I can see that by the hat that you're wearing, Noel.
That's right.
Tell us what we have here. I'm fishing for trout like crazy, but how many trout am I fishing for here?
Well, as many as you can catch one at a time. We keep it supplied. I have no idea how many they put in during the course of the weekend, but we get these trout from Hideaway Springs. Here's one right now. The kids and the parents come in and fish. They try to get them to just like that. You got to kind of jig it and get their attention a little bit.
Okay.
But there's about 8,000 gallons of water in this tank, and our guys come and put it in. They fill it up with a fire hydrant, with a fire hose kind of a thing. And
you don't have the fire department come in here? You handle that all by yourself?
Our guys come in and do all the work.
Well, I tell you, it looks like a big project here. I know that it's sponsored also by Bob Fish, isn't it?
Right, Bob Fish donates $1,000. He's a very big benefactor for our club, and we really appreciate him and his efforts on our behalf.
Well, I'd say this, and of course, with that, he brings in some Bob Fish vehicles and other things.
Back, you've seen. Have you been in the back?
Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
you've probably seen some of his vehicles back there.
Right. We'll be probably taking a look at those later. But this is pretty interesting. Tell us, it's for adults, for children, for anybody.
For adults,
there's a charge to fish for how long?
Right. I gotta ask my associate over here, Jerry. How much? I think it's. Well, how much are we charged for this?
Adults are $1.50. Kids are $1.
Okay, adults.
We have both rates available for the fishermen that take a little longer.
Okay. Here we got another fish over here.
Well, the prices are $1.50 and $1.50 for adults, $1 for kids. It's and I believe you fish for 7 minutes. It looks like a lot of fun.
Right. It's a blast.
And the fish that don't get caught get donated or something.
Right. We'll donate those to when they get done, there won't be too many of them left. But,
okay, good.
But what's left will be donated to a food pantry or something like that. So.
Okay. Well, I see. I'm not. Oh, wait! I might have one here.
Well, you just have to be a little more enticing, Jim.
No, I guess I'm not fish. I'm not catching anything here. But Noel, thanks for the information on this thing, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. I'm talking to two people that are involved with the fishing here. Of course, Ron Knickett is. You are responsible for putting the fish in, right?
That's correct.
Okay, now just a second, and your name?
Brian Habersetzer.
This is Brian Habersetzer, and Brian was responsible for taking the fish out. Let's start with Ron. Ron, how many fish did we put in here today?
We put in just roughly about 175 today.
Oh, okay, and yesterday?
We had a total of, for both days, about 550 fish.
550 fish. You expect them all to be caught this weekend?
Well, they won't catch all of them. There'll probably be a good 100, 125 left.
Okay. And those will be sold to or given to
Well, I don't know what their policy is, if they donate them or,
Okay.
if they sell them.
Okay. And they look like pretty good sized fish, Ron.
Yeah.
How big are they?
Well, they're going to average about 9.5 ounces. That's a pretty nice fillet.
Yeah. Well, 9.5 ounce fillet.
No, that's the total weight of the fish.
9.5 ounce fish?
Yeah, 9.5 ounce fish.
Geez, they look like a couple pounds.
Well, they look a little bigger, but that's what they are.
Okay. Well, they're this long.
Yeah. They're probably going to run around 11-inch average.
All right, that's good. And Brian, wasn't it?
Yep.
Let's see what you got here.
I got 2 trout. I had another one, but it's in the cooler.
Oh, so you've had a pretty lucky day today so far.
So far,
How many times do you go through this thing?
I'll probably go about 12 today.
You'll go through 12 times?
Yeah, probably. About that.
Oh, you gotta love it, huh? You can bring home the fish for the family.
Yep.
Do you have a special technique that you use?
Catch them, just jig them.
Just jiggle away, just knock them on the head, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Try and hook them in the tail, perhaps?
Yeah.
All right, Brian, looks like you had a lot of fun.
Yep, I did actually so far.
Good, good. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for the interview. Now we're standing in front of another exhibit, and I'm standing here with Randy Link and Matt Gaffaro. Randy's on my right, and I'll start with Randy. What's your responsibility with the Sport Fishing Club?
I'm the hatchery supervisor of the Kettle Moraine Springs State Fish Hatchery, and we're here just putting on a DNR display, and part of it's right here to my right-hand side. The hatchery is responsible for raising over 600,000 steelhead a year. The Skamania strain, Chambers Creek strain, and Ganaraska strains of steelhead, which you can see in the aquarium right here. So we do a lot of work with the sport fishing clubs along the lake. The Ozaki Club has made over $7,000 in donations to the hatchery over a period of years.
That's the club that's sponsoring this event today.
That's correct. And so we're here just to support them and thank them for all the support they've given us.
Good. And these are steelhead in the back, in the back of this here?
Yes, they are. The 2 large fish in the aquarium are both Skamania strain steelhead, and we just brought those along to show the people what a steelhead looks like compared to a domestic rainbow trout, which the small fish in the aquarium are fish that we use to stock urban fishing ponds, which supports our children's fishing programs and some of the clinics that are going on today to educate children in sport fishing.
Good. Good. You're with the DNR then?
That's correct.
Okay. Now let me talk to Matt. Matt, once again, the last name?
Gaffaro.
Okay, and your responsibility with this all?
I'm a fisheries technician, and I work out of the Great Lakes Research Facility in Milwaukee, and we work along with Randy's crew. Part of what we do is collect adult fish, so we have a source of brood for eggs, and we'll help Randy collect eggs at our hatchery facility that's on the Root River in Racine, Wisconsin. Typically, we'll wait for a run of one of the different strains of steelhead. We'll either take the adults from the facility and truck them up to his hatchery at Kettle Moraine Springs, or we'll take eggs right on site. So right now we're anxiously awaiting spring when the rivers start flowing again and the fish start running up the rivers.
You know, as we're talking, it occurred to me or made me wonder, how did you folks get into an occupation like this?
Well, I've been a member of the department for over 20 years. I started in Fish and Wildlife at the Horicon National Wildlife Refuge, working for the Department of Natural Resources. And from there, I just slowly worked my way into fish management. I got into fish hatcheries back in the early 70s, and I liked the work and just worked my way upstream, just like the fish do, until I became a supervisor of one of our 12 fish hatcheries.
Good. And Matt, how about you?
I've been with the DNR for a little over 10 years, and it's just a love of the outdoors, and having an opportunity to work with it is very, very satisfying, fulfilling work to do.
Well, that's what I was thinking, that you know, you have to work for a living anyway, and gee whiz, wouldn't it be fun to do something that you just love to do? Uh, almost like would pay to work, huh? But anyway, gentlemen, thanks for this little information, and thanks for the interview.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. I'm with Mitch Prio now, and we're in a clinic of some kind. And Mitch, tell us, what are you going to show the young gentleman here today?
Yes, we have an angler's education program going on today through the DNR. And we have 18 boys and girls here with their parents that are involved in some mini courses on fishing. They're doing knot tying and a casting contest and fish identification and learning about bait. And then we were in at the trout pond this morning where they were yanking out a few real nice rainbows and had a lot of them on. And this group right here is our third seminar. And I'm going to go over at this first little post that we have set up here, and I'm going to show these guys. They already know, but I'm going to show them how to do cleating for a boat.
Okay, now Mitch, once again, you're with the club.
I'm with the club.
And you're giving a demonstration that was provided or put on or given to you by the DNR.
That's right. We have 4 DNR instructors here, and the 4 of us are putting on an angler's education program through the Department of Natural Resources.
Okay, well, let's get the kids' names, and then we'll get you busy. How about you, young man? What's your name?
Matt Riley.
And how about you?
Justin.
Justin Latter, is it? Okay, and how about you?
Derek Steinmetz.
And you?
Andrew Panazik.
I'm guessing you're all about 8 years old or so?
9.
9? You're okay, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 8 to 12. Now, Mitch, let's see you teach these kids how to do some cleaning.
All right, guys. So let me take my line right here, and there we go. And this longer line will be going to the boat. And what we're going to do is we're going to come around the base of the cleat, all right, and we're going to throw a figure 8. Once we have the figure 8 around, all you have to do is stick the short end right through a loop at the top, and you have that boat very secure. All right, gentlemen, show these people how we're going to do a cleating today.
Well, they're cleaning like crazy. Mitch, come on over here and...
Excellent. Very good. Go ahead, take it out, and we'll move on in just a minute.
This looks like fun, Mitch. How long are these little clinics?
These are about 20 minutes apiece. We have 4 stations, and the kids are just moving right around the 4 stations, and then we'll be wrapping it up, presenting the awards for the casting contest, and they'll be getting a patch, a certificate for the end of the day, and they have a book that they've received and a lot of pointers on techniques about learning how to fish.
Good. And let's go over and look at some of this stuff here. I noticed there's some visual aid here.
Yeah.
Is that how to bait the hook and all?
Yeah.
Is that too?
These are too small for Dad. No, this is just my visual demonstration hook of how to tie a trilene knot, for instance.
I see.
So I demonstrate on this one, and then the boys and the girls have their hooks out of the packs, and then they do it from my demonstration.
You know what? When it's cold and rainy and windy, and that monofilament is bucking,
yes,
it doesn't go that easy.
No,
right?
It sure doesn't. It takes quite a bit to do it.
Okay, thanks, Mitch. Thanks for the interview.
Well, thank you.
Sure. Well, the annual sport and boat show and sport card show. So we are now in the card section. I'm here with Glenn Dove, D-O-V-E, I think it is, right?
Yes.
Glenn, where are you from?
I'm from Waukesha.
All right, I see you brought a group of things here. You're one of 16 or so card dealers here today, and of course you've got cards and a number of other things. What do you all have?
I have a variety of single cards, but you'll notice that I have a rather large wax display. And
when you say wax display,
wax are our unopened wax packs.
Is there one here that we could look at?
Sure. Okay. You'll find 2 different markets in sports cards. Ones are the guys that come in and collect a certain player, so they'll look for single cards. The other market is generally a younger group, the people that like to come in and either buy boxes of unopened material or packs of unopened material.
Okay.
Half of the fun of it is still opening the pack.
To see what you've got
to see what you've got in it, sure.
And this, when you say wax, it's wax because it's...
Well, wax is really a carryover. There's no wax packs anymore. They're all foil packs now.
Okay.
But the old packs, the bubblegum packs, the wrappers were all coated with wax, so they carried the name of wax with them. And now you can see they're all shiny. They're all foil.
Okay. Well, now that you mention it, I could go for a stick of bubble gum. I'll buy about 4 or 5 packs of bubble gum cards if you get.
Yeah, if you can find one piece of bubble gum in here, it's yours.
Explain what happened to the bubble gum card. Off camera, you were saying that they've disappeared, but what is the reason for all that?
I think it was really an effort by the manufacturer to deliver a better product. What was happening is that cards were being held over and in the closets or in inventory, and the gum would age and it would stick to the card. So you'd open the pack, and as the value of cards increased, you'd find that the most valuable card had a piece of gum stuck to it. So you tear the piece of gum off, and then there was no value to the card at all anymore.
Well, if I remember right, too, that gum was very tasteless. It tasted pretty much like the card that it was sitting next to. When did that all end, do you know?
Yeah, I think it was in the early 90s, the last wax packs. And Tops.
So it is the last bubble gum thing?
Yeah, the last bubble gum thing was Tops. You know, Tops started with gum and they ended with gum. And I believe it was right around the 1990 time frame when they stopped doing that.
What about the most expensive card that you have here, or unit or piece that you're selling?
Okay,
what would that be?
The cards that I have down on the end, they're really broken into 3 categories. The cards on the end are typically under $10. They're singles. Kids come in like to collect a few things, so that's pretty much for them. On the other side, in the more expensive cases, is where I have the more expensive cards. And you'll notice that some of the cards actually date back into the late 1950s and early 1960s.
Give me an example of your most expensive one.
I think the most expensive card that I have out right now happens to be a Robin Yount rookie that I have priced at around $100, which is a good price for that particular card.
Well, you know, I saw a card over there, a Robin Yount rookie card for $75.
It was probably all bent. And
See, what I'm getting at is there's 16 vendors out here, and you've got some really, really strict competition. I imagine there's a lot of duplicate Robin Yount rookie cards here that could be selling for any amount of money, right?
Sure, but the quality of the card, and today's collectors are extremely picky. I mean, when they look at a card, that card has to be in perfect condition, or they typically won't buy that card. There is a price guide put out by Beckett, and Beckett generally sets the trend for the way cards are priced, and then your price fluctuates on how the condition of your card relates to the way Beckett has it priced.
And so you can if you find a card, you can go to that guide and see what its value should be.
Sure, it will give you the high value, and then there's a certain percentage for different conditions of the card.
And I imagine people come in here shopping with their guide to
Sure.
see if your cards are in fact worth what you claim.
That's exactly right. They'll see a card, they'll open the Beckett, they'll see what Beckett says, and they'll compare it to your price.
I see. What do you feel about the baseball strike? And obviously they're more than just baseball cards. You got football cards, basketball cards, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's concentrate on the baseball cards, or the baseball strike. Is that going to affect the card market? I mean, if in fact there is no season this year.
Yeah, I think it already has affected the card market. Up until this year, I was primarily a baseball card dealer, not even a sports card dealer, just baseball. If you look at that last case on the end, there isn't a single baseball card in it. These 2 boxes right on top here are brand new 1995 product, baseball product. One is put out by Donruss, and the other is put out by Fleer. And in 2 days, I have sold 2 packs of 1995 baseball, and that's brand new product. The bottom 2 rows are football and basketball, and the majority of the cards in my case now have gone to the football and basketball market.
So you're getting more action out of football and basketball.
Certainly, especially football. Football has become very popular in the market now, with baseball really stepping aside.
Well, you know what? You're going to have to get the wallet out, I think, when these replacement players start making names for themselves. And when that happens, the manufacturers are going to be making cards for them too. You're going to have, I think, like double your inventory.
Well, if the replacement players come from the independent minor leagues, there probably already are some kind of cards for those people. Classic typically deals in minor league cards, and Upper Deck has gotten into that world, so you can find cards for single A and double A players already.
Do you have any of that?
I don't have any of those out. I do have some classic cards of some of the football players now when they were in college. It's not minor leagues, but it's the same type of approach to it.
Good. How many cards? How many cards do you have? Like thousands and thousands?
Oh, I couldn't even put a number on how many.
You have
cards I
it. You have it inventoried somewhere on a computer, possibly?
Yeah, I have it all in my computer.
Okay. And when you sell something, you update, and when you add something, you of course.
Yeah, I have a little pad that I keep in the back here, and as I sell a card, I mark down what it was and what I sold it for. So then I go back and I update my inventory, and it does two things. Number one is it helps me keep track of what I have sold, because for me this is a business. It's not just a hobby, and it also gives me an idea of what people are interested in.
You don't do this for a living?
No, I don't do this for a living.
Okay. But I bet many weekends out of the year you're off someplace at some show.
Oh yeah.
How many?
Actually, this is a second living. Well, I do 2 shows a week, or 2 shows a month. I'm sorry, and I would actually do more, except that I work for a marketing company, so I do a lot of traveling, and I can't plan my schedule that far ahead of time.
So 26 weekends a year you're off someplace.
Yeah, typically 20 to 25 weekends.
Well, you gotta love it, huh?
Yeah, I do. I still enjoy it, but it's really at a crossroads right now. There's so many manufacturers, so many types of cards, and I'm not real sure where the market is going. If you look on a Sunday morning, there really aren't very many people here for a card show. And granted, the theme of this is not card show. It's a fisherman's or fishers hunters type of show, but yet. The card show is publicized all over town. It's in all the newspapers. There's billboards and marquees posted up and down the street, and it's really pretty quiet.
Is it like that everywhere you go, or is that just here?
I think you find this more times than not. That it's a very, very tight market right now.
Well, you still have to love it, and apparently you do.
Yeah.
But gets you out of the house.
Yeah, it sure does. And it gets me out with the kids.
Yeah. Good. Hey, I learned a lot today, Glenn. Thanks for the interview, and maybe we'll be bumping into you again next year.
Okay, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
We're in the main area of the show. It's in the gymnasium here at Silverbrook, and the very first booth walking through the door is a diver booth, and I'm here with Ralph Ripple. Isn't that right, Ralph?
That's right, Ralph Ripple.
What's the name of your diving shop that you?
The shop is called Diver's Delight. It's in Barton.
You own that?
I own it. Yes, I do.
Okay. How long have you been diving?
Oh, I've been diving since 1957. So the shop has been in town here since about 1991. We're in West Bend.
I guess I did see it up there from time to time, but it is quite new. How's business?
It's okay. It's okay for Wisconsin. Diving is not a real hot item in Wisconsin because of the weather, naturally. In the summertime, we're busy.
Is this your full-time occupation?
No, it's not. This is a part-time operation for me.
Okay, good. Well, we have a display here of something that you said that you have picked up from shipwrecks, apparently. Show us some of the things.
This is some of the stuff we brought up on the shipwrecks. This one here is a train which came off the Norland down in Milwaukee. Went down 1922. We brought this up. We took a hose. We washed it off. It has not been retouched other than that, and it still works. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, not only do you find this stuff, but do you sell it then? I imagine there must be some value to these things.
Well, there's value, but nowadays you can't bring anything up off the bottom. This here were all brought up about 5 years ago. The laws in Wisconsin now, if you find something on the bottom, you have to call the state and they look at it and tell you if you can bring it up or not. They want to try and leave everything on the bottom. They don't want it brought back up. I don't understand the reasoning for this, but that's the way the law is right now.
Well, I think that maybe they don't want anybody to make any profit off of things that have been somebody else's misfortune.
That's for sure. They don't want that. They want to leave it down there for future generations, they say. But I believe if it's not brought up, nobody's ever going to see it. It's going to lay down there and be a brown spot in the sand eventually.
Well, right, and I would think ships would keep sinking, maybe.
Well, they keep deteriorating. Over a period of time, there's not going to be anything left down there for anybody to see.
Yeah.
And if you don't bring it up and put it on displays like this year, nobody will ever see it.
These are all from different shipwrecks, or the same one?
No, most of the stuff are off of different shipwrecks or just off of the bottom of the lake. Most of these bottles were brought off of Pewaukee, Little Cedar Lake. The perfume's been brought off to Norland. This Daycomb is brought off to Norland down in Milwaukee. This is a bottle of hair grease that's still full.
Yeah, we could use some of that, couldn't we?
Yeah, well, I used it once. I had a full head of hair before that.
Ralph, I see an old 6.5 ounce bottle of Coke. Right. Where'd that come from?
That came out of Pewaukee Lake. That's
What
an
do
old-
you think the value is of something like this?
I have the slightest idea what that is.
Haven't
It's
seen
probably
one of
worth something. Here's a bottle you've probably never seen.
It says property of Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right.
Well,
During the Prohibition, what they did is they quit making beer and they started making soda water. And the soda water bottles are all clear bottles. They're not brown bottles. So that's how you can tell it's very few of these around.
Yeah.
If that has a value of something, I have no idea what. I'm sure it has a value of something.
well, Ralph, I'm going to have to confiscate this bottle.
It's yours, take it.
I'm working for the state good. Okay. Ralph, thanks for the interview, and good luck to you in your shop. It looks like it's a lot of fun besides generating some income.
It is. It's a great sport. It's everybody should try it.
And once again, folks, it's Diver's Delight.
In West Bend, Wisconsin.
Phone number?
334-6057.
Good. Ralph, I hope you get some business.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye now.
With Tony Conklin, I think it is, right, Tony?
Yes. My name's Tony Conklin.
And Tony, what outfit do you represent?
We're for Caden's Kennels and Hunt Club. We're located about 30 miles north of Milwaukee.
Well, that's West Bend is 30 miles north of Milwaukee.
Right. We're just about 20 minutes ride from here.
Okay.
Just west of Kewaskum.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. Tony, tell us what you're going to be doing this afternoon.
We're doing a dog demonstration with some lab pups. We've got a yellow lab coming in to show you a little bit of handling exercises, and then we also got a little lab pup here, and we're going to have a couple German short hairs. So we do a little dog demonstration on handling and proper care of the hunting dogs.
Handling, training, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Retrieving, possibly?
Yes, we'll do some small retrieves inside the gymnasium here for them.
Okay. That's quite a booth that you have here. That looks like it took quite a while to set up.
It comes up and down pretty easy. It's pretty portable. We do a lot of shows.
Well, it's pretty impressive. And you're west of Kewaskum, you said, right?
Right. We're approximately about 3 miles northwest of Kewaskum.
Do you get a lot of business out of Milwaukee area?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We get a lot of business from all the local areas.
Okay. What's the dog's name down here?
This one's DJ.
Is that a boy or girl?
It's a male.
Is it going to be doing something in the demonstration today?
Yes, he'll be doing small retrieves and a little bit of obedience. He's about 3 months old right now.
Oh, 3 months old and you're teaching it already?
Oh, yes. He's been retrieving birds since he was 10 weeks old.
Is that right? That's like the natural born.
Oh, yes. He's a natural hunter. Retrievers are natural hunters.
Something like this. Is this a Labrador?
Yes.
What would this be worth?
Oh, the puppy we sold him, his litter came about $400 a puppy.
Okay. You don't raise them, you just train them over at your place?
We raise dogs and train dogs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We're full-time training and full-time breeding.
All right. Well, it looks like you've got your work cut out for you, Tony. And once again, the name of your outfit is?
Caden's Kennels and Hunt Club.
Cadence, is that somebody's last name or just something that you...
Two names put together. Dennis Pratt and his wife.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, folks, you know where to go to get your dog trained from now on. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sure.
Nice talking to you.
Now I'm with Al Phil from Phil Products. Al, where's your outfit located?
We're in Sheboygan.
Sheboygan, okay. Looks like you brought along some kayaks this year. You've been here every year for the last 5 years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Good. Well, what have you got for us this year? I don't remember seeing this last year.
Well, we have 3 different types of kayaks here. Right in the front here, we have a sea kayak. This is generally used for long distances, traveling. Very easily to paddle. Plenty of room for storage in the front and the back.
What does something like this cost?
This runs around $1,100-$1,200. This is plastic. It's a polyethylene. They make them in plastic, fiberglass, and Kevlar.
Okay. Now, once again, you do not make this kayak at your plant.
No, this is made by Aquaterra.
Okay. But you do make something for the kayak.
Yes, we do. We make spray skirts, covers, camouflage covers, and anything to do with fabric that would have to do with the boat.
When you buy this kayak from Aquatech, was it?
Aquaterra.
Aquaterra. It doesn't come with one of these things?
Well, they have their own models, but we make our own. We have our own designs.
It
We
must be
manufacture parts for the company.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. We'll stay with that. What else do you do over at Phil Products in Sheboygan?
Well, we have a marina. We have a canvas shop, engine shop, and we also have a ship store where we make, we sell Old Town canoes, Aquaterra kayaks, and a variety of other hunting products.
Sounds like you've got a pretty big production. How many folks do you have working for you?
Oh, there's 4 of us.
Wow. Well, I guess you
We stay very busy.
I guess you do. Well, it's a good display, Al, and this looks pretty interesting. You get a lot of business, a lot of people buying kayaks.
Right now, this is the hottest ticket.
Is it?
Last year, canoes were doing well, but now we're selling probably 3 kayaks for every canoe.
These one of those things that you can flip over like you see in the movies all the time?
Well, this one here is possible. That's where you got 3 different type of kayaks. This here's a touring kayak, and over here, you can see this is more of a lightweight adult river kayak. And then in the back here, we have something you would use for fishing, more of a fishing kayak. This is a 2-person kayak that also converts into a single-person kayak just by the seat that's in the front slides to the rear. This is the most popular over here. It's also the most safest.
This looks like the one we're standing in front looks like some kind of a racing job because it looks like it's got the pedals and a rudder of sorts.
Yeah, it has pedals in the front and the rudder in the back. That's operated with the pedals. And when you have a heavy wind and you're obviously paddling the kayak, you'll find that it's much easier tacking into the wind rather than having to have to do it all with your paddles. The rudder will do it for you.
Right, and you could stay on one side for a long time if you like, paddling on the same side.
Exactly.
Good.
You find it's much easier to paddle this than you'd find paddling a canoe.
Well, you sold me. I'll take about 5 of these things, all right?
You got it.
Thanks, Al. Thanks for the interview.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, thank you. These kind folks were kind enough to offer me a place to sit, and boy, George, I took it. Well, I'm sitting here now with Dick and Irene Shufflebein. Isn't that right, Dick?
That's it. Right.
Okay. Now, Irene, what's your claim to fame? We had Bob Hammond had talked earlier about what you folks do for a living, and maybe you could say something about what you do.
Okay, I work in a factory at Kohler Company.
But more important than that.
And I professionally fish, and I love every minute of it too, as you can see. We do a lot of tournament fishing. We do fish all the Masters walleye circuit, a few other tournaments beside that, do seminars, so we're quite busy all year round.
I guess so. And Dick, didn't Bob say that you were 5-time walleye master championship or something like that?
Okay, we've held the Masters title of Husband and Wife Team of the Year for 5 out of 6 years. We've also qualified for the Masters Walleye World Championship for the last 5 consecutive years.
And all this while you're still doing your other full-time jobs.
That's correct. Fishing is great, but you got to have a little bit of money to do this. It costs a few dollars to get out there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So where do you folks live?
We live in Sheboygan.
Okay. And imagine you travel to different shows every weekend, something like that.
Yeah, we do a lot of boat shows. We do sport shows. We have a kids program we work with in Sheboygan County. We do a little bit of everything.
Sounds like fun. Gets you out of the house. It's interesting though that you're a walleye champion and instead of bass champion. I've never heard of walleye fishing contests.
Well, walleye fishing has become very popular over the last number of years. I would say for the last 10 years, it's probably as popular as bass fishing. Actually, if you think about it, walleye is several reasons. Walleye is a good eating fish for number one.
It's an excellent fish.
And it's a very elusive critter. I mean, bass is worried too, but walleyes have the characteristics what makes it quite tough at times to find them and catch them.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I mean, you quite possibly could have a contest where there wouldn't be any winners. Nobody would catch anything. Could that be?
That has never happened. You know something, no matter how bad the bite is, you go out there and practice and everybody comes in, they're crying and the fish ain't biting, nobody's getting anything. Hey, we give away all the money in the tournaments, there's always a winner. So there's there's so many techniques involved in this, and the guys that fish and women who fish the circuit become so adapted that we can, if there's walleyes in a lake, we can generally locate them pretty quickly, but then it's just a matter of finding out where we can find the biggest of them, and that's the real harder part sometimes.
Good. How far do you have to go sometimes for this world champion stuff?
Well, this year the World Championship is going to be over in Red Wing, Minnesota on the Mississippi. We've held it there. It was there last year. We took 10th in that last year.
What's the furthest you've ever gone for a tournament?
South Dakota has been the farthest. and on Lake Oahe, the reservoir. That's been the farthest. Really nice over there too.
I imagine you know about all these tournaments from advertisements and fishing books and things like that.
Oh yes, there brochures out. We have brochures here at the show on all the tournament schedule and in magazines, and you'll see where all the tournaments are held.
Okay, Dick, I'm saving the best for last now. We're sitting in some high-tech, expensive-looking rig, and it's brand new apparently. Is this your boat? And if it is, how come it looks so new?
Well, it is our boat and it is brand new. Each year we get a new boat. We're sponsored by Mercury, Warrior, and
a fully sponsorship?
Partially, okay. And so therefore we promote the products which we believe in, and they're good to us. So we're proud of all of our sponsors. You know, the thing of it is, I wanted to mention, if I might, is that if anyone out there who's just an average fisherman, you might consider yourself that, or really like fishing, I'd encourage you at least once in your life to fish a competitive tournament to get the full experience of what it really is all about. I will guarantee you'll love it. It'll be something you remember for the rest of your life.
Well, I've seen those bass fishermen take off at Fond du Lac, and when the cannon goes off, they're heading out of town 80 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Because they've got those bass boats with 200 horsepower jobs on there. This one looks quite sizable too. What was the size?
It's 150 horses.
Okay.
This boat does about approximately 60 miles per hour.
60 miles an hour. It's got fish finders. It's got live wells. It's got a number of other things in here. It's looks pretty comfortable.
Right, and it's also got a great fisher lady for a partner.
Right. Hey, Dick and Irene, I want to thank you both for the interview. It was nice talking to you, and good luck in the next couple of tournaments. Right?
Thank you so much, and good luck to you too.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I found an interesting display here, and I'm standing with the owner, I'm guessing. His name is Paul Retzloff. Paul, is that right?
Yes.
You're the owner of this?
Yes, I am.
What's your business or your organization?
The name is Retzloff Tackle, and my main area of interest is ice fishing tackle with the tip-up light is my main manufacturing point.
Okay, where are you from, Ralph? Or Paul?
Monroe, Wisconsin.
Monroe. You're from out of town, huh?
Yeah, quite a ways away.
The home of Huber Beer.
Huber Beer and Berghoff and all that good stuff.
Do they still make that up there?
Yeah, they do.
Good.
Yeah.
$4.19 a case?
I think it's down now a little bit to like $2.99.
It's just, it's just a sign. Well, let's get off of that.
Okay.
Let's get back to what we were talking about.
Okay.
Al, the thing that attracted me in the first place is this little unit here that apparently goes off and on when.
Right.
Explain how that works.
This is a tip-up light. It attaches to all of the tip-ups on the market other than the round frisbee type. You just remove the existing flag that's on there, and it screws down in its place. It runs on a 9-volt battery. During the daytime, you can switch the switch off and use it as a flag, or if it's a hazy day out, you can use the light, or nighttime. When it's down, it's off. When the fish bites and tips the tip-up up, the light comes up, and you can see it quite a ways on the ice.
This is a revolutionary new device. I imagine there's some kind of mercury switch in there, but how new are these things?
These have been around for a few years now. I just purchased a company that had them in December, and they're kind of being reintroduced to the market now.
Well, it's almost a necessary item for night fishing, other than going out in the wind and the cold and checking your tip-ups with a flashlight. But this is a great little invention.
Thank you. It is. It's something that a lot of fishermen use. There's not a whole lot of them on the market that are this high off of the tip-up. Most of them are set down on the tip-up or attached to a flag in some sort of way, and these are just a little more durable than the other ones on the market.
So for how much?
$11.95 retail.
Okay. I notice you have some other jigging poles that are pretty much standard.
Yes, these are made with a black walnut and St. Croix blanks. One of the little niches on that we have is an ice fishing rod that has a line that runs through the center of the blank.
Oh, look at that!
It has a little stainless steel spring tip bobber on it.
You know, one of the I like this. One of the biggest hang-ups are these spring bobbers. The string gets caught in there, and
right.
when you tie another line on, you got to wind it through there.
Right.
How do you get it to come through that spring?
Each one comes with a wire with it, and you just send the wire down through the rod. attach your line to the wire and pull it back through, so that you're keeping the tangle ups of having the guides on a rod. You don't have that with these.
Boy, I'll tell you what, there's an invention that was needed.
It's been around for quite a while. Yeah,
Through the center of the rod?
Oh, sure. They've been around for over 30 years, this type
Wow,
of rod.
that's how much I know about it. Good, I thought it was new to me. And of course, it looks like you're dealing boat
These are just
tarps
some
and
assorted tackle that I pick up around the area when somebody's closing out on it. I pick it up.
Good. Well, okay then, Paul. Once again, it was Retzloff in what city?
Retzloff Tackle out of Monroe, Wisconsin.
Well, I imagine they'll be driving up from West Bend this week to come up there and visit you.
Come and see me.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Paul. As you can see, the sign says "Hooked on old lures, baits wanted, cash paid, buying now." Tackle display. I am here once again with a gentleman that I talked to last year who had a fascinating display. Want to welcome him back. I can't remember the name. What was it?
Gary Cripps.
Gary Cripps, of course. Welcome back. Where were you from, Gary?
Thank you. From Marshall, Wisconsin.
That's right. And you brought all the stuff along with you again. This is a fantastic old tackle display. Tell us some of the things that you have here. Tell us the oldest stuff that you've got.
Well, I think I have a new addition this year, which is a tackle box that I just picked up a couple of weeks ago that dates from the 1880s.
1880s. I guess that would be probably the oldest thing you've got.
That's pretty doggone old. Yeah, we've got a few baits that go a little bit older than that, but the box.
Let's step aside, and it's right behind us. In fact, I'll get over. Well, I'll get over here. Gary, you stand here, and now Ralph can take a picture of the tackle box. Gary, explain a few things then about it.
Well, it was obviously handmade by a local craftsman, but very nicely done and very, very useful. The boxes are deep enough and large enough that they fit most baits, and a lot of the newer tackle boxes won't fit the old baits because of the size and the length of the hooks and so on. Just very nice. Of course, it has the odor too, which you can't quite catch on the camera, but it's there, and just looking at it, you can almost tell.
And you can see, Gary, too, how each one of the drawers just slide out so effortlessly that it's not like like even some of the furniture that you might have, dresser drawers and stuff that stick all the time.
Very smooth.
This is effortless. What a find!
It was very nice.
And of course, it is filled with tackle now, but that is your tackle.
I added the tackle after buying the box.
And there it is.
Closes all up to make a nice little case.
Does it float?
I don't want to try that.
Okay, but once again, Gary was here last year, and we did quite a long interview with you last year because you had so many things. And you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15.
It should be about 22 or 23 cases.
22 or 23 cases of old-time tackle fishing lures.
And then 7 or 8 tackle boxes to boot. So. Plus a lot of miscellaneous items.
Geez, it's good to see you back again. I think for the folks who haven't been here, this is a worthwhile display just to see this one alone. Have you made any purchases today?
Yes, I have a couple.
Some of the folks
knew
you were going to be here and brought in their old stuff?
Either saw the advertising or remembered from last year or whatever. But I did yesterday. I purchased a few items, and then again this morning I purchased some things.
Good. Do you sell things then too here?
No. I'm a hobby collector, and I'm really not in the buy-sell business. I'm looking, as the show advertises, to do free appraisals for anyone that wants to bring things in while I'm at the show. But then I'll buy selected items that appeal to me that I can add to the collection with.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
So sooner or later you're going to have a warehouse somewhere to store all this stuff.
Well, you're continually upgrading. If I have, if an individual brings in a very nice bait in excellent condition and I have one that's in a poorer condition, I will change those out of my case, and then that becomes available as a trader for the next lure collector show that I go to.
I see. Okay, now.
So that's the process pretty much as it goes.
Now, if somebody's watching this and wants to get a hold of you because they've got some old bait that they would like to maybe sell you or to know what the value is, they could get a hold of you by writing to where?
Well, Gary Cripps, 550 Riverview Drive, Marshall, Wisconsin, 53559.
Good.
or if they want to call me, that'd be fine too.
Okay, Gary Cripps in Marshall, Wisconsin. Maybe you'll get some business out of this.
Hey, that would be wonderful. I'd enjoy that, and I always enjoy talking about the tackle and looking at it.
Gee, so do I. But we're kind of pressed for time, and I'd like to spend an afternoon here with you on this stuff. But it's worthwhile seeing. And once again, Gary, welcome back.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Folks, we'd like to show you a few people that are actually attending the show instead of all the people that we've been interviewing so far are owners and managers or something. Today, right now, I'm talking to people who have just come to the show, and I'd like to get their names and where they're all from. How about you, sir?
Jim Wallner from Newburgh.
All right, and
Dick Fisher from Newburgh.
You folks you guys ever been here before?
I haven't.
Yeah, I belong to the club.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes.
Well, let's talk to the ladies on the other side here. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Chris Wallner from Newburgh.
Okay, relation?
Yeah, he's my husband.
Okay, and?
Trish Wallner from Newburgh.
Okay, and?
Amanda Fisher from Newburgh.
Okay, good. And you folks come to this thing all the time?
Yes.
This is our first time.
Every
year. Oh, it is?
Yeah, because Dick told us about it.
I told him to come.
Well, this is a good show. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to see. A lot of free literature, brochures, and that kind of thing.
You're bound to catch fish.
Is there anything in particular that you folks are looking for?
New ideas in the fishing on Lake Michigan.
Okay.
I'll see what somebody else has. This boat rig behind you, that's kind of unique. All the different equipment and the way the fella has it set up.
Okay. And you're also with the club, aren't you, Dick? Did you have any involvement in helping get this thing off the ground?
No, I didn't. Okay. Summertime I help them, but in the wintertime I don't.
Well, I was talking to Bob Hammond. I guess you folks must know him, and he said how ambitious your club is. Folks do a lot of work for the area.
Yeah, a lot of members pitch in to do this every year, and it seems to be getting bigger. They said yesterday they had a turnout that was unbelievable.
Good. Well, once again, it's in February, and it's the annual Great Lakes. Let's hear it.
Great Lakes Sport Fishermen Show. Seminars and show.
A little, a little unbiased testimonial from a perfect bystander. Okay, thanks, folks. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Just about ready to wrap up this show, this 5th annual sport show and sport card show. And Ralph and I are going to have something to eat. There is also a concession stand here with hamburgers and hot dogs. And I'm standing here with a couple of people responsible for all this food. You, sir, your name is?
Bill Schrader.
And you are?
Chairman of the concessions, and we have homemade brats here and hamburgers and hot dogs. And
good, you're making my mouth water. And this lovely lady on my right is the co-chairman, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm. Rocky Ketchpaw.
Rocky, and are you the hamburger cooker?
Yeah, I'm the hamburger queen, they call me.
So we were wondering if this was a catered event or not, but apparently you folks are out there cooking hamburgers and flipping wieners and all that?
Right, we have people outside frying on the grills outside, and so they're just been made.
Good. Well, everything looks so good, and in fact, this aroma of hamburgers and things all has kind of floated around through the area here, and I imagine you're getting a lot of people right around this time of day. But that's it. You've got some candy bars and whatever.
Oh yeah, we got homemade donuts here and bakery and lots of things that are homemade here. So it's been a real successful show for us. The crowds have been good even with the cold weather. So
okay. Well, good, folks. Thanks for the short little interview, and I guess this is it, folks. So this is the end of our show for the 5th annual. Say it with me, Bill.
This is the Sports Ozaki chapter of the Great Lakes Sport Fishermen. It's our sports show every spring.
Good. And it's always somewhere around the middle of February, maybe the last weekend of February?
No, this has been the second weekend in February every year. So.
Okay. And once again, this is February
11th and 12th.
Okay, 11th and 12th. I'm right on, aren't I? Hey, thanks, folks. And this is it. My name is Jim German. This has been another production for West Bend Community Cable. All I can say is thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.